to the Real Radar Radio Show, final episode of 2018. Very happy you guys are here and able to join me on the final episode of 2018. It has been quite a journey this year. It's been pretty productive, to say the least, for some people. Others are just looking forward to the fresh start of the new year, how things are going to be progressing for them, and you know, there's just so much optimism going into 2019, and there's a lot of high hopes for people who are not necessarily struggling, but have pretty much had enough 2018 shit. So I mean, it goes both ways, honestly. First of all, before I get anywhere into the show, I would like to extend my greatest appreciation and, you know, well wishes from everybody who's listened to the show. I've received a lot of compliments and a lot of feedback regarding the show and regarding, you know, things that have transgressed over the past months. Those of you guys who have been, you know, great supporters of the show, who have, you know, been very understanding about, you know, my absence from the show here and there. Thank you so much, and I look forward to giving you guys a better 2019 with more content on the shows and greater content, you know, across all my social media platforms up until now. So again, thank you guys so much for everything. I keep saying a lot. I noticed that. Well, 2018 has done a number on me, has done a number on the show, has done a number on each and every one of you. If there's a moment in 2018 that you could think of that has stood out to you the most, that has made the most difference to you, what would it be? And not only this, but how do you go into 2018 with how 2018 treated you, and how does that affect you? You know, how does that change? You know, does it make you? Does it break you? Is there something that you're looking forward to in the new year to be the deciding factor of how your year is going to be perceived going down the long stretch of how you would want it to go? I know it doesn't make sense, but in all actuality, there is a good amount of people who would agree that 2018 was the roughest. Who would agree would be, you know, 2018, you know, pretty much played a lot of people. And from what I'm gathering just on information by itself, is that there is a lot of relief that the end of the year brings a lot of people. And some people, unlike most, look forward to the fresh start in the year. They see it as a new beginning, a fresh slate, if you will, to pretty much attack those things that, you know, were holding you back this past year. And with that being said, you know, there is just so much room for improvement, room for improvement, room for, you know, being able to stretch yourself further than you usually do, being able to put your best foot forward, and, you know, not let, you know, certain things or items or, you know, excuses hold you back from reaching your fullest potential in the new year. And with every year, you know, comes the cliche New Year's resolutions of, you know, what do you want to do for this new year to better yourself? Some people want to lose weight. Some people want to be more financially responsible. Some people want to be more emotionally stable. Some people, want to have a better outlook towards life and, be a better person in general. And while that all seems great and all seems very reachable, mind you, very accessible and very, possible for a lot of people to achieve, it's harder for some. And it's harder for a lot of people who have a hard time grasping the concept of there being optimism going to the new year. A lot of people treat the new year as a very shady, very shitty experience. And then everybody feels like, with the new year, there is no change. The constant barrage of problems and worries and woes just stack up. And some people are right. Some people are within their right to believe so. But I'm not going to sit here behind the mic and tell you that, we're all doomed. Like, we're all going to be facing a harsh new year, that we're going to be facing a rough year ahead and stuff. But because that's not me. I mean, it's pointless for me to wish that upon anybody, especially, me, coming from me. I mean, there's just so much more potential and so much more positivity to be spread and be shared with one another. And I think 2018 has, if anything, taught us a lot about ourselves and taught us about how we need to make these improvements for ourselves to be better, to make better choices and decisions, and, have a better outlook towards life, and, treat people how we want to be treated. And, people nowadays, in this new day and age, are quick to be offended by a lot of things. And what sucks is that a lot of people hold grudges. A lot of people, don't bother to turn the other cheek, to look the other way, to don't miss a beat to put somebody else down, or, really, get on somebody's case about something. Well, let that new year be the year where you just simply don't give a shit. 2019's got to be the year where you got to be better for you, be better for yourself, do what makes you happy in this new year. And I know a lot of people are very self-conscious and worried about how, they are to approach people and to please everybody, and, we want everyone to be happy. Well, fuck that. I mean, the whole gist about starting a new year fresh is to make yourself happy, to make personal goals met by personal choices and decisions that you've made for yourself, to be, made by you, to be possible by you. And you have to stop making everybody happy and stop pleasing everybody, because you're not going to get anywhere. Because if you truly find it in yourself to make yourself happy and be happy, you got to do it for you. And fuck everybody else who tells you otherwise. Because in the long run, it's your life. In the long run, it's your choices. In the long run, it's what's going to make you happy. It's going to make you the happiest person that you could be. So, long story short, because I'm not going to be spending a whole deal of time on how I think you should perceive life and how I think your choices reflect you, because everybody's entitled to their own choices and their opinions and their feelings. I just think that 2019 should serve as an example to start the year right, on the right foot, and put your best foot forward for you, just for you. Don't worry about anybody else. Excuse me. So, for example, for me, for this past year, I've faced a lot of, not so much criticism, but a lot of, feedback when it came to some shows that I did this year. And there was a good 3 or 4 total that stood out for me this year. Episodes that I did for the show that raised a lot of flags. And it wasn't just for, audience content, things that I made readily available for you guys, but what I had supposedly did or did not do by violating certain rights on YouTube, or there being some sort of breach of copyright that I did. I totally disagree with all these, ideas that have happened and have surfaced. The last show I did raised a couple of flags because there was an email that I received that I had been flagged for a copyright claim. However, I did not receive any formal notification of any reason why I was copyright claimed. But I'm not going to worry about it because I know I didn't violate any wrongdoings, and I think I was in the right. I think I was in the clear about a lot of things. So I'm slowly trying to let go of this past year and focus and refocus and kind of get my mind together for 2019 and kind of put that negative energy towards something positive, like my announcement of possibly writing a novel this year and being able to share that with you guys readily available exclusively as soon as I can get that, possibly done. The sooner the better. I mean, I had this idea for a novel, which was originally supposed to be an idea for a TV show that I messed around with for a while, and the actual original concept for this novel that I want to do was created by my brother David, who had a really good idea for this story, and I think it was a great chance and opportunity for me to kind of jump on this and kind of see where it leads me. And it's kind of like a I guess experimental project for me, because I've never written a novel. I've never gone past writing anything that wasn't a screenplay or a short story that I thought of. So I mean, I'm literally taking my brother's idea, of course with his knowledge and his knowing, and kind of seeing where that leads me. And it's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be, there's some funny, there's some drama, there's a lot of different stories, different angles to be told, and different things to piece together. But I think in the long run, it'll make for a good read, and I think a lot of people will get a great vibe and a lot of energy from it. So I can't share too much detail about it because there's just a lot to go on, but I think that I have a good idea of where my target audience is going to be, and I think a lot of you guys, the listeners, are going to get a kick out of it. So I'll be sharing more details on that when the time's right. However, it's not right now, so pretty soon. But other than that, I plan on making this show more aware to other people, other listeners, sharing this show on different platforms with other people, making it known and having people see that there is a lot of good that can come from the show. Expand the audience bandwidth a little bit, kind of get the whole ball rolling and kind of growing the audience, the listening squad to grow a little bit further than what it is. So I'm looking forward to that. There's going to be a lot of potential for growth and a lot of potential for people to interact with the show, whether you're a listener or whether you're a contributor in some way, shape, or form to the show. I, for one, am truly excited to announce that I will be having some guests on the show in 2019. One of the first guests that I would like to announce right now, because it's actually been talked about and it's kind of been it's still a little ongoing with some details that we haven't really worked out yet, but the author of the Gray Matter series, Anthony Parker, will be a guest on the show in 2019. Anthony Parker has been a great listener to the show. He has been a friend of mine that I've known since high school, who has been a phenomenal writer. He's got a great book series out right now that I think a lot of people would be very intrigued and very well invested in knowing what the story that he's telling and how a lot of people can gain a lot of knowledge reading his book series. So I haven't had a chance to read the book series yet. I have just been all over the place. I would really hope and love to get my hands on a copy of this book so I can read it and kind of, set the motion in order to kind of, talk about it a little bit more when I have him on the show and see where this kind of leads, down the path. Kind of maybe have him as a more consistent guest on the show later down the road with several topics that I want to be discussing later this year with several other shows that I kind of want to intertwine together that I could probably use, somebody else's outside expertise on, certain subjects that I want to do for different shows. So, thank you guys for, the suggestions of having, live guests on the show or, shows to do interviews with different creators and artists from all around. I kind of want to do a collaboration with other podcast, shows and people that I've met through Instagram and through Twitter, other creators that I've met through YouTube and through Twitter also. I kind of want to have their input and see if I can get them to collaborate with me on a show in the near future. I know that was really much more of a thing that I wanted to do in 2018, but I don't want 2019 to be the downer, to be the continuing trend of how things just don't work out for me. So I want to put a stop to that and kind of make 2019 the year of availability to other people and to make it known that I want to have this show to expand tenfold. I want it to be more out there. So there'll be more guests, there'll be more interviews, there'll be more collaborations with creators and artists alike. I was just a guest contributor on the Ghostly Gals podcast a couple months ago. I failed to mention that. I think I mentioned that a little bit around the time the Slender Man movie was announced or was released in theaters. But if you guys haven't had a chance to go check out the Ghostly Gals podcast, I strongly encourage you guys to go check it out. It is a great show. I love the topics they talked about. The last show I just listened to was the Black-Eyed Children that they had released this episode not too long ago. So it was very informative and very entertaining. So you guys got to go check that out. Also, the Gray Matter book series is available on Amazon and through BarnesandNoble.com. If you guys get a chance to go look it up. Written by Anthony Parker. I think you guys will get a great, read and a good visualization of what the story he's telling and how we can all, set aside some time to, start reading books again. I mean, it's awesome what Anthony's doing, and I think I took a lot of inspiration of wanting to write a novel due to, how he's perceived, to take matters into his own hands and, kind of create this book series. And he made it work for himself. So there's a lot to go on, and I draw a lot of inspiration by, how he was able to do it. So I kind of, wanted to, take a page off of that, take a page from his book, you know what I mean? Literally. And that was pun intended. So that was poorly pun intended. A lot of people be like, oh, that's cringeworthy, but that's pretty much how it goes. So, but yeah, 2019 is going to be a great year for the show, a great year for each and every one of you, for me, for all of us, for everybody. Got to share the wealth, and make it a little bit more about ourselves, kind of put everybody's opinions and, how their feelings aside and make it work for you. It's got to be the best advice that I can give anybody and everybody who are actively looking to get 2019 started the right way. So, this being the final episode of 2018, there's just so much that's happened this past year. We lost a lot of great people. We've, watched a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows, a lot of great TV came out this year. A lot of good stuff that has just happened. If you guys had not had a chance to watch Bird Box yet, oh man, it's riveting. It's a mind fuck. I gotta tell you right now, Bird Box, given the fact that it's become so mainstream over the past few days, this past week, I believe Netflix calculated that there was been 45 million views of the movie Bird Box on Netflix just this week alone, just the first week it was released. And it's phenomenal how a story like this, a movie like this, can be released on a streaming platform such as Netflix and be recognized as this big old grand event. And a lot of people are missing the interpretation and the appreciation that Netflix has brought a lot of viewers. I mean, if you really look back at it, I mean, Netflix started off as a streaming service, and it still is a streaming service. And they brought us a lot of great original content with Orange is the New Black, House of Cards, children's shows, and now they bring us shows like House of Cards, Orange is the New Black. Stranger Things is now an amazing piece of work. A lot of fans of Stranger Things, and it's a great show. Stranger Things is a great show. I have still been very reluctant to watch the last 2 episodes of season 2 due to the fact is that I binge watched the entire season 2 in 3 days, and I immediately regretted that because I just wanted more. And it just became so addicting that the show was just so damn good. You don't want it to end. So that's what I've literally done is I'm waiting on these last 2 episodes. I'm probably going to end up watching the entire series again right before it comes out sometime next summer. So, there's just a lot of great TV, a lot of great movies that are coming in 2019. But with 2018 coming to a close, there's just been a lot of stuff that we've all been encountering, whether it's great TV, great music, live concerts, new comics, the Disney buying Fox acquisition. We lost Stan Lee. We lost George Bush Sr. I mean, we've been through a lot, man. There's been a lot of horrible things that have happened also with the Parkland shooting, the YouTube shooting. There's all these different events that have happened that kind of left a really bad sour taste in our mouth. And we're coming up on a year anniversary with the Parkland shooting, and this coming February in 2019. So it's going to be very hard and very emotional come that time next year. So, I mean, I also ask that you guys keep a lot of those people in your thoughts and your prayers, because it's been a tough year for a lot of people who have been involved or have family that has been involved with events like this, such as the shootings and these different types of events that have happened, in 2018. So I ask and I encourage you and implore you guys to treat everybody, with some respect, and treat everybody with love and care, and be nice to one another. It's a lot to ask for, but with minimal effort, everybody can come together and just embrace one another and be happy and be able to share with one another different ideas and thoughts, and come together as different races and ethnicities and oppositions and differences and cultures, and let it all collide and let it all be one happy cliche. 2019's on the come up, man. I mean, I'm telling you, it's going to be a great thing for a lot of people. And I'm excited to just get through this episode, and I'm looking forward to the next episode. The first episode of 2019 is going to be great, man. I'm planning this whole thing where I want it to be something where I coincide with a new video that I'm going to be releasing on YouTube. Also with the new episode of the Real Radar Radio Show. I can't say that too fast. A new episode of the Real Radar Radio Show in 2019, the first episode. I kind of want to coincide that with the first video on YouTube. I'm expanding the Facebook page a little bit, kind of making it more interactive with a lot of people. I'm trying to get something set up where some people can call in for the show, and we can do like a live feed, or we can do a live show. I can go live on Facebook for the first time. I've never done that before, so there's always that. There's just a lot of great stuff that we can do in 2019. There's a lot of awesome things that I'm looking forward to getting done this year, but also looking forward to possibly being able to expand myself, to other people, to other shows. I would love to be a collaborator with other people on different projects. I want to be able to get this novel done and share it with you guys, and maybe possibly turn that into a script and submit it to Netflix or submit it to Hulu, or see where it goes. I mean, it's a year of possibilities. I mean, it's a year of taking risks and seeing where it takes me, where it takes us, where it takes everyone, the whole community, the audience, the Real Radar Nation, everybody. So 2018 has been an asshole to a lot of people, but I'm not going to let that stop me from reaching my goals in 2019, because it just means that I would have been defeated. I would have defeated myself in the long run. And with that being said, there's just no room for delays or bad juju or bad, feeling or bad attitudes going into 2019. So with that being said, this is the final episode of 2018, and I will see you guys in 2019 with a brand new episode, brand new platform, brand new out thing and everything. So I'll see you guys. Take care. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Be safe. I'll see you guys soon. This is the Real Radar Radio Show.